Thank you, Eric, and nice to meet you all again. Familiar faces, new faces. Let's see where we end up. So, There's a Hole in the Bucket is an old song from the 1800s, German song. It was probably not called There's a Hole in the Bucket, it was in German, of course. But it's a never-ending story where two people sing to each other with a problem statement in the beginning. They try to solve the problem, and it ends up that the only way to solve the problem is to start over again. So you can sing it forever. And I think we are within this loop right now when it comes to piracy and fighting piracy. Some might say, well, isn't that good? That's a loop. We can iterate and make it better. I would like to take a step back to see the forest because all the trees are in the way. So I will probably maybe controversial in some things, which is fine. I'm up for it. And my aim here is not to provide answers. I want to pose questions, and I would love to discuss with you afterwards. I'm sure someone will sneak up and call me naive and maybe have some concerns about this. All the opinions are mine. I'm not here because Viaplay told me to go. I work at Viaplay. I'm within this every day, and I work with it. But these are my own opinions. So, I'm Niklas Hammarbäck. Engineer at heart. I'm not actually a trained engineer. I don't have a degree. I'm 100% self-taught from the beginning. But I have this naive vision that everybody has something good to come with. And I do think that we have a better future ahead of us if we do this the right way. I work as a product manager for the streaming team. I've been with Viaplay for 12 years now. Pretty much the same role all the time, just different name of the role. That's usually how it goes. You have the same seat and they just give you different titles every year. But quick word, I work with a great team called the Streaming Experience Team. I'm surrounded by some of the smartest people I've ever met. And I think that's the key to success, to work with people that are smarter than you. We have a clear problem that we need to solve, which is playback or streaming. We know that it can fail. And our vision is, of course, when we have solved this problem, we can provide this experience that our users deserve and love to use. And our mission is super simple, always provide the best possible stream to our end users at any given time. That's short about what I do, but let's talk about piracy. It's not a new thing with piracy. It's been around forever. I have been a heavy consumer of pirated content throughout my life. When I was young, it was, of course, bootlegs, copying records between friends and so on, which is that time's version of account sharing. So I bought an album, you bought an album, we recorded it and switched tapes. The thing is that back then, that was always something bad in the sense that the source was, of course, better than the copy. You always introduced artifacts in the copy. When I did this slide, I actually asked ChatGPT, can you create an image that illustrates, in this case, a copy of a source, which is the Star Wars movie, that I made a home video copy of. And I do have some hope for AI, because I wasn't allowed to do that. I did explain the context. This is about piracy, about copyrighted content, and ChatGPT said, no, you can't do that. I will not help you to copy copyrighted contents. So that's pretty good. The problem today is that the copy is one-to-one. It's not even a copy. So the bits and bytes that we produce and put on our origin are the same bits and bytes that the pirates are reselling. So it's not, we can't claim anymore that, sure, go buy the pirated content, it's worse than the original. It's actually the same. It's identical. And the impact, of course, we all know this, big numbers. This is the latest report from Marie about, I think it was 25% of 15 to 74-year-olds. I was shocked that people at that age did this. But apparently that's the way it is, right? I also added a slide from the Netherlands, since we operate in the Netherlands as well. This number is from 2018. That's 6 years ago. And already then it was a big number. I don't think this number is going down. It's going to go up even more going forward. And meanwhile, me, of course, being a little bit mean to that, but the politicians, they will not help us. This is, if people call me naive, what is this statement? In his opinion, this shouldn't be a problem, but it is a problem to go forward. So pirates, what exactly are they doing? Their modus operandi, it's two things. They either grab the screen, we know that, which actually is introducing artifacts. But the worst one, which is most common, is actually restreaming. They simply pick our stream and redistribute it. So it's a one-to-one copy. So apparently there is a hole in the bucket. And I think what I tried to say here is that maybe using a bucket is the problem. Maybe we should look at this in a different way. More buckets, anything else, bags, I don't know. We know that the DRM is breached. The DRM is not helpful anymore. This is Google, Microsoft, and Apple. They have failed to provide a way for us to securely encrypt our content. We were saved up until this summer that live content using Fairplay we were not able to steal that, but that's now a breach, so it's wide open. And as long as one is broken, it makes our life even harder. So we need all type of encryptions to work for this to work. We are, of course, looking at limiting access by geo-blocking, VPN blocking, and now we're looking at introducing common access tokens, so we know that whoever requests the segments is a paying customer. If you are not a paying customer, you will not be allowed to download the segments. But even as a paying customer, you will be able to restream it, of course. But there are small steps in order for us to mitigate this. Then we have organizations like NCP, Nordic Content Protection, who are trying to disturb their business. It's really good, and we should continue to do that, of course. We are a little bit reactive in this case. We should be one step further on, to be honest. I think we are in a state of defense play, to use a sports metaphor. And if you are in defense play, you have something to lose. I think we should try to switch this around and actually make the pirates be on defense, so we can start be more offensive. So where we are right now, this is a real quote from, I said it's an anonymous streaming engineer. His name is David Andersson in my team. This was his epiphany when I was talking about this. This is what we do right now. We have a chess game, but we are handed a big club and play whack-a-mole, while the pirates are actually playing chess, and they're winning the game right now. We have taught the pirates how this works. We have put ourselves in this situation, this curse of Sisyphus. Whatever we do, just back to square one all the time. We have told all the pirates, this is how streaming works, and they have said, thank you, we will make some money on this. So we need to shift around here. So, are we screwed? No, I don't think so. I think we actually have some, bright future ahead of us. I also want to, if you look at this is from a calendar. If you look at the date, that's in March 2020. This is actually my own photography. So this was the last day at the office before we closed for the pandemic, and I ripped it. And it was like, yeah, the future is bleak. So that was 2020 in a nutshell, in one picture. There are ways forward. I would like to, turn this around. So I asked friends and friends of friends who use pirate services, because you all know people using pirate services. So why is this so good? Why are you using piracy? It's not just the money. First of all, they don't necessarily see this as illegal. For many people, this is the equivalence of going to an outlet buying, discounted clothes or whatever. They don't see this as piracy. They think someone just bought a lot of accounts and can give it away for a lower price. So we have clearly missed that narrative. It's super convenience. You buy something, you have everything at your hands. I mean, everything. If you want to watch, Champions League, you can see that. If you want to watch floorball or the local retirement service homes chess tournament, you will see that on the service. They have more content than we can provide. It's user-friendly. Anyone can buy this and start working with it. There's no problems whatsoever. And people really think this is legal, because I paid with my Apple Pay, I showed my face, and it's working. Why is that illegal, right? super cheap, of course. Now, when it comes to cost, this like 10 euros per month, I would say it's still like the regular going price. You can also buy premium services. They're doing that. I think this is the weak point of piracy. Anyone working with sales knows that if you start selling something cheap, you will never be able to raise the price without problems. So they have made one mistake. They sell it cheap. So we should keep that as a reminder. So if we turn around, this is an opportunity tree mapping, and look at this input as opportunities instead. So what can we do? So the overall objective, that will be my final slide. If we have that upstairs, the desired outcome, what are the opportunities we can find in this? We'll go forward. Oh, okay. We can make our experience way better. We can compete with pirates. We have the know-how, we have the technology, we have the experience, we have the content. We are way bigger than piracy. So we should be able to create something that is way better than what the pirates can do. Enhance the metadata while playing back content, score stats on sports and so on. Because if they have to start investing in that, their production costs will go up. Do we dare defragment our own business? Do we dare looking at our own business models? This is a really hot potato. But do we dare challenge our own business? Marie said it in her, we need to start looking at how do we do this? How do we bundle things? How do we going forward? I think it's quite clear that we need to start looking at this. Early this year, we had this movie or ad, whatever, that Nordic Content Protection made about piracy. Can we just reshape that narrative? This whole "you wouldn't steal a car" narrative, I don't buy that. That's an old from the DVD days that you shouldn't copy DVDs. And they said, "You wouldn't steal a car, would you?" No, of course not. But I would download a car if someone offered me that. No question. If someone said, press the button, you can download a car, I would do it in a blink of an eye. So we should stop shaming the users, change the culture about what piracy is. But how? I don't know. This is my question, of course. That one. This one. We have the technology at our hands. I think machine learning and AI, if we would use that on the pirates to disturb their force, I think we should be in a way better place. So for example, if we take access our content and finding fraudulent usage of our service, a person can do that, of course. We're doing it today. We get the data, they analyze the logs. We can see, well, this is clearly not like a real person or customer. No one rents 50 movies in an hour. That's clearly for downloading and sharing, of course. But we should use the computers to mitigate this, to make more of a disturbance in their force. So my suggestion as an objective, and what I believe in, is that the only way to get rid of piracy all forever is to make them obsolete. The music industry did it once. No one is pirating music anymore, but that's a completely different story. They don't have, like OTT providers and broadcasters in that sense. It was record labels. They were fine having one aggregating service doing this. But we should start looking at ways to do this. And how can we make piracy obsolete in the best possible way? I'm way too fast. It's only 10 minutes. I said 15 to 20 minutes. So if there are anyone who has questions, I think that was the time.